Check.
My mic. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. A very good morning, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. And welcome to the great Benin Kingdom as it used to be known. Today, we would say welcome to Edo State. Welcome to the Oredo facility of NPDC. Welcome to the Presidential Commissioning of NPDC's Integrated Gas Handling Facility. And LPG storage and dispensing plants. We'll commence the event in the next few minutes. Before we get into the main activity of today, I would begin with something that has become a key part of our industry activities. Let me quickly welcome, for a short safety brief at this facility, Ahato Frank. Ahato Frank, if you can please come forward, talk to us briefly about where we are before I continue. Come in.
Exercise, especially at the plant area, the use of cell phones, lighters, cameras are strictly prohibited. The only cameras that are allowed are the ones that are intrinsically safe. And even if they are, please, we expect you to take permission before you make use of them. And please, while in the facility or during the tour, we expect you to restrict your movement to the areas that are covered on the tour. And we also appeal that you take time to look at the signages at the different locations within the facility as to acquaint you with our HSE requirements. Then if you are pressed, at the far end by the fence, there are convenience there for you to use. And we also have waste bins at different parts of the locations should you have anything to discard. We pray that you have a fruitful tour and at the same time enjoy our facility. Once again, we welcome you to Oredo Flow Station. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ahato Frank, working us through that safety brief. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Richmond Osuji, and I have the honor, the privilege, and pleasure of mastering this event for the next few minutes. Speaking about safety, as we've been told and guided by Frank, it is also worthy of note that in the time of this project's life, NPDC has achieved 2.5 million man-hours with zero lost time injury and zero loss of life. You can celebrate that. In this industry, that is worthy of celebration. And that goes to underscore NPDC's Goal Zero mandate and commitment to ensuring the health and safety of their professionals are protected. Even that, or those of the host community. And we celebrate the NPDC for that. We will go live with this event in the next few minutes at exactly 12 o'clock. But before that time, let me quickly recognize some of the dignitaries who have joined us here today. Of course, you are well aware that this is a presidential commissioning. That means we will be receiving shortly His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We'll also be receiving governors of Edo and Delta State, I'm told, are on their way. We also will be receiving distinguished senators and members from the National Assembly and members from the cabinet of Mr. President, the ministers, of course, our host minister, our alternate chairman of the NMPC will also be joining us shortly. The Speaker of the State House and some other members of the state executive team will also be joining us. I'm aware His Royal Majesty, the Oba of Benin, will also be joining us via perhaps a representation. Now, all of that said, I'd like to quickly now recognize the captains of this industry who are here seated, whose work, whose dedication, and whose determination to utilize gas resources has gathered all of us here today. I'd like to begin by recognizing the presence here of our indefatigable group managing director, Mr. Melek Kolo-Kiari. Good morning, GMD, and thank you as always for being with us. I'm told that the director of the Department of Petroleum Resources would either be joining us live here or online, so we recognize Engineer Saki Anwalu. Of course, the work that is done here at the NPDC is under the purview of the Chief Operating Officer upstream of the NMPC. I'd like to recognize the presence here of Engineer Adokie Tumobie. Tumbomie, forgive me, sir, I practice it. Tumbomie, I would not fail it again. Thank you very much. Can we please give him a round of applause? Thank you, COO. Thank you for your guidance and direction. I'd like to also extend our salutations to Ms. Laurentia Ndopo, Chief Operating Officer downstream, and of course, Engineer Adeyemi Adetunji, COO Ventures and Business Development, as well as Engineer Yusuf Usman, the Chief Operating Officer for Gas and Power. I'd like to also salute Engineer Mustafa Yakubu, Chief Operating Officer, Refinery and Petrochemicals. Mr. Mohammed Ahmed is the COO Corporate Services, and our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Omar Ajia, I'm told, is represented. Can we please give our Chief Operating Officers a resounding applause? The NPDC is, of course, that arm, a subsidiary of the NMPC, that is ensuring utilization of resources in country and adding great value to the people of host communities and indeed the nation in general. We salute the Managing Director of the NPDC, Engineer Manso Sambo. Engineer Sambo, we salute you. Can we please give him a round of applause? Him and the entire management team of the NPDC. And of course, all other MDs of the subsidiary companies of the NMPC who are here, we welcome all of you. We salute you for being here. Managing Directors of international, normally I would say, when I say MDs of IOCs, many people quickly think of it as international oil companies, correct? But this time I say managing directors of IOCs and IOCs, international oil companies and indigenous oil companies, they're all doing us proud. NPDC is also one of such indigenous IOCs. We welcome a true father and leader of thought in this industry and in the NMPC in particular. I'm told he'll be joining us shortly, Mr. Gaius Jackson Obasaki, a former group managing director of the NMPC. The GGMs of the NMPC, we welcome all of you. We welcome, of course, presidents of New Peng, presidents of Pengason, and representatives of the Nigerian Gas Association and the Society of Petroleum Engineers. The Nogie of Ologbo Dukdam is yet to join us. We salute him and the entire members of the host community for providing this enabling environment to NPDC to carry out this all-important national business and assignment. We welcome captains of industry. Many of you I wouldn't be able to call by names. We welcome all of you. We welcome, of course, members of the fourth estate of the REM, distinguished invited guests, friends, colleagues of the NPDC, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Now, when the president is seated, I would have to run through an abridged version of what I have done now to get the event started. But I just wanted to welcome everyone who has come out today to join us. And real quick, I would go into the business of the morning, now nearing afternoon. In the time of this project, from conception to construction and today to delivery, it has provided hundreds of jobs for skilled and unskilled jobs, for the people of the host community and indeed the Nigerians in the industry. So, thank you, DJ. Okay, before I continue with that, I'd like to quickly also very respectfully recognize the presence of the members of the board of the NMPC who are seated here with us today. We welcome Mr. Lawal. Forgive me if that is a Mr. or Miss, but we welcome Lawal. I didn't get the first thing there. We welcome Mr. Pius Akin Yeluri. We welcome you, sir. We welcome Lami Ahmed. We welcome Magnus Abe. Can we please give our board members a fitting round of applause for providing the stability and direction that enables the NMPC to deliver on all fronts? We appreciate you, our distinguished and eminent board members of the NNPC. We're also, I have said that earlier, that we're expecting the distinguished Senator James Manager. Senator James Manager is, of course, the chairman, Senate Committee on Gas. Villa, just to say, sir, that I'm standing by for you anytime you know you have the authority to interrupt me once you're ready, sir.
Hello. Can you hear us?
Loud and clear, Villa. Loud and clear.
All right. Okay. Once Mr. President is approaching, we'll let you know.
Okay, sir. Just do that.
Thank you.
Okay, so I was speaking about the contribution of this project to the host community. I like to highlight those those statistics or figures where I have them, because if another community that has
well, we just don't.
So, for each host community that makes their environment hospitable, welcoming, and encouraging for development, we celebrate them, we appreciate them, because these kind of facilities stimulate the economy of such communities. It will create not just employment, but it will also provide LPG for the domestic market. By the way, the NPDC is only second to Nigerian LNG when it comes to contribution of gas to the domestic market. And I think that deserves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We can celebrate that with a round of applause. Now, when you also factor in the fact that at capacity, these facilities we're here to commission today will be contributing 1,560 megawatts in terms of gas to power generation in the country. And what that would mean is the fact that local communities like this, once power is generated around them, would take it in to develop small and medium-scale enterprises within their borders. The benefits of projects like this truly is enormous. And we must continue to thank His Excellency and the administration for championing the course of gas in this dispensation, because it is a cleaner source of fuel. It is cost effective. It is cost effective. And ultimately, as the world is moving gradually away from fossil fuel, many are still saying that in the long run, in the long term to come, gas will still have a very worthy place in the energy mix of the world. And the only way you can take your place amongst the Committee of Gas Nations is to have the right infrastructure in place, which is what the NPDC and the NNPC have continued to do. If you have been following and monitoring the news in the last couple of months, since the declaration of 2020 as the year of gas, the journey has been consistent. The impact has been visible. And indeed, the value addition, I am certain no man can question or no man can argue with that fact, that NNPC and her subsidiary companies.
Hello. His Excellency, Mr. President, is stepping in. Let's be on standby for the national anthem.
Shall we please welcome His Excellency, Mr. President, who has stepped into this event now.
Okay. National anthem, please.
God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We may be seated. Thank you. Can we please, with a resounding applause, welcome His Excellency, our President, to this event? Can we please give His Excellency a resounding applause to welcome him? His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources, in the company of members of the Cabinet of the President, joining us live from the Villa. His Excellencies, the representatives of the governors of Edo and Delta State, the Chairman, Senate Committee, Gas, Distinguished Senator James Manager, and other distinguished senators here present. Honorable Nicholas Mutu, Chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Gas. Honorable Mahmoud Gaya, Chairman, House of Representatives Committee Downstream, and all other members of the House of Representatives here present. The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Eli Muhammad. His Excellencies, the Deputy Governors of Edo and Delta State represented. His Excellency Chief Timipri Silva, Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and alternate Chairman of NMPC Board. Speaker of the Edo State House of Assembly, members of the House, Chairman of the local government Ikoba Oha, representatives of His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nedo Uku Akpolopolo Iware II, Oba of Benin, members of the State Executive Council, the Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mr. Kiari, the Director of the Department of Petroleum Resources, the Chief Operating Officers of the NNPC, the Managing Director of NPDC and other MDs of subsidiary companies of the NNPC, Managing Directors of international oil and gas companies and indigenous oil and gas companies, the former Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mr. Gaius Jackson Obasaki, Group General Managers of the NNPC, President of New Pengason, NGA, and SPE, His Royal Highness Prince Jason Akenzwa, the Nogie of Ologbo Dukedom, captains of industry, members of the Fourth Estate of the Rem, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We welcome all of you to today's presidential commissioning of the NPDC's integrated gas handling facility and the liquefied petroleum gas storage and dispensing plants here in Ologbo Delta State. We welcome you to the Oredo facility of the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, adding value they have done to this community and by extension to Nigeria in general. My name is Richmond Osuji, and I have the honor and privilege of mastering this event for the next few minutes. I'd like to continue with this event, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to continue with this event, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, by thank you. Thank you. So we welcome you to Oredo in Edo State. Seemingly that was for that. Thank you very much. We're in Edo State, neighboring Delta, but Edo. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we continue now with the welcoming by our first speaker. It is intended to be a short event. I'd like to now welcome the Group Managing Director of the NNPC for his welcome address. Please welcome Mr. Mele Kiari, whose leadership skill and negotiating ability ensure that NPDC has continued to increase their production capacity. Can we make the applause better for our Group Managing Director of the NNPC?
Excellency Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency Mr. Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senate President and distinguished Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, distinguished Senators of the Federal Republic, and distinguished members of the House of Representatives. Your Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, ably represented here, Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Yoba Benin, ably represented here, and the Honorable of Ologbo, heads of government institutions, and parastatals under the Ministry of Petroleum Resources and other institutions, distinguished members of the press, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's very obvious that I'm standing in a position of privilege addressing Mr. President, whose clear directive to us in the Petroleum Ministry and in particular in NNPC that we must deepen domestic gas utilization and monetization. We must provide the platform where Nigerians can benefit from the enormous gas resources that we have so that jobs can be created, prosperity can be created, and of course, by implication, also bringing peace to our country. Mr. President, that singular directive and that vision is the key enabler for the realization of this project. Mr. President, Everything we are doing for this project is anchored on the strategic vision of Your Excellency's administration that sets the growth of gas sector as one of the cardinal priorities to help harness Nigeria's abundant natural resources, to diversify our energy portfolio, accelerate economic growth, and increase revenue generation capacity of the oil and gas sector. Most certainly, Mr. President, unwavering commitment to this mandate has eased the path for NNPC and its affiliates across the industry to fast-track delivery of this critical gas infrastructure, including the IGHF. And indeed, Mr. President, it is your singular support for this persuasion that made us to come to this point. May I crave your indulgence, Mr. President, to let you know that this facility is constructed on 2 plots: the process and the cryogenic plant, and the LPG propane storage and dispensing plant. It has installed capacity to process circa 200 million scoop of gas, of wet gas, to deliver about 85 million scoop of lean gas. And of course, in addition to that, it will make 330 metric tons of LPG, 345 metric tons of propane, and 3,400 barrels of pentane and stabilized condensate on daily basis. This facility, Mr. President, is equipped with 8 dispensing arms and storage capacities of 2,600 tons and 1,000 metric tons of LPG and propane, respectively, Mr. President. This obviously translates into an average daily load out of 17 trucks of LPG, 22 trucks of propane, and delivery of methane gas into the ELPS line that could generate equivalent of 367 megawatts of power per day. Everyone listening to me may be surprised or may be astonished to know that this project was designed, constructed, and delivered with the highest application of Nigerian content for the critical projects of this magnitude. And indeed, our contractor is wholly Nigerian contractor. This demonstrates, Mr. President, the capability of Nigerians in handling technologically complex projects while reducing pressure on nations' constrained foreign exchange resources. Mr. President, I can assure you that this project will support the growth of small and medium-term enterprises in the host communities. And this will also create hundreds of direct and indirect jobs, not just within the host community, but in Nigeria at large. Of course, it will employ very skilled and unskilled labor. Mr. President, by the time you commission this project, NNPC's participation in the LPG value chain will grow substantially, boost domestic gas supply, and help reduce prices while curtailing carbon footprint and deforestation and diversification effects. Wholly owned by the federal government of Nigeria, is the leading supplier of gas into domestic market. It also estimated to be the #1 producer of crude oil in the next 2 to 3 years' time. This will clearly place us in position of advantage because this is a company wholly owned by the Nigerian people. The benefits come to the Nigerian people wholly. And not only that, it gives the highest possibility of Nigerian content growth in our industry. Mr. President, as we speak to you, we are progressing with all other intervention projects in the domestic gas sector. And this has clearly demonstrated that it is possible to do this and that this value can be created. Once again, Mr. President, we are very, very privileged to provide service to our country and also to deliver on the task that you have given us, which is to optimize value, to increase domestic resources utilization, and to ultimately bring prosperity to our great country. Mr. President, thank you very much. I will welcome you to commission this project. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, our proactive and committed Group Managing Director. Can we please give him another round of applause? The NPDC is a 100% Nigerian company, has used a 100% Nigerian workforce to deliver a project that would benefit Nigerians 100% in terms of power generation and domestic gas utilization, and has immensely thanked Mr. President for providing the leadership and the charge to deliver this infrastructure. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're continuing now with our program to the very next speech, as I'd like to welcome the alternate chairman of the board of the NNPC and the Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, His Excellency Chief Timothy Silva, as he steps forward to take his own address. Can we give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources. Your Excellency, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Distinguished Senate President and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Your Excellencies, the Governors of Edo and Delta States, members of the Federal Executive Council here present, let me at this point stand on the protocols as already established. It is with a deep sense of gratitude to Almighty God that I express my profound delight for witnessing this remarkable event. True to its commitment, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has made unprecedented strides in the area of gas infrastructure development that will facilitate exploitation. IGHF and LPG processing and dispensing plants at the close of year 2020, our year of gas, speaks a lot on Mr. President's genuine determination to deliver on his promises, even in the face of the daunting challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. The accomplishment of this project, with capacity to process up to 200 million scops of gas, highlights the commitment of the NNPC in eliminating gas flare while increasing Nigeria's value realization from gas. The entirety of the LPG and propane production is targeted for the Nigerian market, further affirming the conscious efforts of NNPC and the Nigerian government in growing its participation in the LPG value chain to boost domestic supply, lower prices, and deepen LPG penetration to safeguard our environment. In addition to the numerous benefits that will accrue from the Oredo IGHF and LPG processing and dispensing plants, the approach for their design, engineering, and construction adopted by NPDC sets a new threshold on the extent to which in-country capabilities can be deployed to achieve the delivery of complex and high-tech projects in our oil and gas industry. The delivery of this mega project and many others in 2020 ushers in the glimpse of what this administration is committed to delivering in gas development and gas infrastructure projects to accelerate the transformation of Nigeria into its rightful place as one of the topmost gas producers in the world. Beyond the swath of social amenities and employment opportunities, the facilities have offered broad vistas for business development among its host communities. NNPC and its affiliates are clearly providing leadership in the industry by championing the hopes and aspirations of the Nigerian government towards aggressive gas sector investment to broaden and diversify Nigeria's energy mix for long-term development and sustainability. I therefore commend the NMPC, and the whole Ministry of Petroleum Resources team and its leadership for always taking its pride of place as the resource custodian in the growth and development of the Nigerian economy. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless you all. Long live the people of the host communities. Long live the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. Long live the federal government of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency Chief Timipre Silva, Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, indeed stating the ministry's commitment to continue to carry out this mandate and directive to maximize resources of gas in country. We appreciate you, sir. Can we please give him one more round of applause? Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we will now move on to the next item on our agenda, and that will be to take you on a short virtual journey on these gas handling facility and the LPG plant that we have come here to commission today. So for the next 5 minutes, we'll give you a video presentation about the project. Keep your eyes on the screen.
Development, NPDC.
Field of the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, NPDC, a subsidiary of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, is delivering over 200 million standard cubic feet of gas to the integrated gas handling facility to boost the domestic market in conformity with the federal government's gas utilization agenda, which seeks effective utilization and monetization of the nation's gas resources. For decades, Nigeria could not maximally utilize its huge gas resource base, which currently stands at over 202 trillion cubic feet of proven gas reserves and additional 600 trillion cubic feet of unproven gas potentials due to infrastructural deficit.
This landmark project is being developed at a critical time in Nigeria's commitment to increasing our infrastructure assets. We promise the nation that we will expand the critical gas infrastructure in the country to promote the use of gas in the domestic market.
This agenda has enabled the final investment decision, FID, on the NLNG Train 7, the ongoing expansion of the Escravos to Lagos gas pipeline system 2, the Obiafo-Obricom OB3 gas pipeline, the flag off of the construction phase of the 614-kilometer Ajaokuta-Kaduna Kano gas pipeline project, the rollout of the National Gas Expansion Program, with subsequent launch of the Oto Gas scheme, and now the commissioning of the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company, NPDC Integrated Gas Handling Facility, IGHF, and liquefied petroleum gas storage and dispensing plants. The IGHF is essentially a waste-to-wealth facility that converts hitherto flared gas to valuable lean gas, methane, LPG, propane, and pentane. Contract for the engineering, procurement, construction, installation, and commissioning of the IGHF was awarded in 2015, and the objective of the IGHF project is to meet NPDC's domestic supply obligation for Oredo field, and in the process, eliminate flare gas and convert waste gas to wealth through the processing of over 200 million standard cubic feet of gas per day.
Nigeria currently has an estimated 202 TCF with potential for up to 600 TCF on discovered resources.
The IGHF as built will process rich natural gas and West Africa gas pipeline specification, compliant lean gas for the Yoruba power plant, and the domestic gas market via a 16-inch by 20-kilometer NIPP NGC spur line to the Escravos Lagos Pipeline Systems, ELPN.
Our core business is NPDC, and in NPDC, we know that we have huge gas resources. To monetizing that gas can achieve two objectives. One is that it can become a value for the company, and secondly, it will fit into the overall national objective of increasing production of gas in the country and also particularly into the domestic market. So we saw these two opportunities to align with the objective of government to deepen domestic gas consumption.
The integrated gas handling facility is located at Olobo community in Ikwawaha local government area of Edo State, while IGHF Plot 2 is located at the outskirts of Olobo community. The Oredo integrated gas handling facility will also recover liquefied petroleum gas, propane and pentane for domestic utilization. At full throughput, it will dispense 330 metric tons of LPG per day, which is equivalent to 16 standard 20 metric tons LPG trucks. The link gas can generate at least 367 megawatts of power per day and also ensure feedstock to gas-based industries.
The LPG that will come from the facility, which is almost 240,000 metric tons per annum, will be channeled to the domestic market.
In summary, the NPDC stands to generate revenues in excess of $200 billion per annum from the IGHF plants operating at full throughput. The facility will also meet the country's LPG needs by 20%, thereby reducing gas importation also by 20%. And the plant will equally cohabit side by side with one of the largest palm plantations in the country, with zero harm to the environment.
Okay, come him to commission and speak at these presidential events. Your Excellencies, Royal Majesties, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm now switching gears to the presidential villa at Aso Rock in Abuja as we welcome His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources as he addresses us and then commissions these plants. Can we please welcome Mr. President?
Members of the National Assembly, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Honorable Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, senior government officials, Group Managing Director of NNPC, Royal Fathers and community leaders, captains of industry, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to address you virtually at this epoch-making event of commissioning of the Oredo Integrated Gas Handling Facility and liquefied petroleum gas processing and dispensing plants built and operated by the Nigerian Petroleum Development Company and upstream of subsidiary of NNPC. At the turn of the year 2020, this administration made solemn declarations to the Nigerian public over its plans to expand the gas sector footprints by scaling up the development and utilization of Nigeria's abundant natural gas resources to help spur industrialization, provide clean and efficient energy for transportation and household use while increasing our exports into the international market. It is on the backdrop of this commitment that the year 2020 was dedicated and embodied as Nigeria's year of gas. Since then, we have followed through with actions that have translated those plans into tangible projects with monumental value additions to the Nigerian economy. We accomplished key gas infrastructure projects like the Obiefu, Obrikon, Oben, and Escravos Lagos pipeline system 2, and flagged off the construction phase of the 614-kilometer Ajakuta, Kaduna, Kano pipeline project. It was indeed not a coincidence that the completion and commissioning of the aforementioned gas infrastructure projects in this year 2020 followed the wrap-up of year 2019 with the final investment decision for Nigerian liquefied natural gas Train 7. Similarly, we are exciting year 2020 with yet another milestone of commissioning the Oredo Integrated Gas Handling Facility, liquefied petroleum gas processing and dispensing plants. The Oredo Integrated Gas Handling Facility and its associated natural gas liquids depot will be delivering 240,000 metric tons of commercial-grade liquefied petroleum gas and propane. It will also deliver about 205 million standard cubic feet per day of lean gas to the domestic market. Apart from being the largest onshore liquefied petroleum gas plant in Nigeria, with the potential of supplying about 20% of Nigerian liquefied petroleum gas demand, the Oredo Integrated Gas Handling Facility was carefully situated at a corridor proximate to over 80% of Nigerian liquefied petroleum gas demand source. In addition to its import institution benefits, that brings us a step closer to self-sufficiency in liquefied petroleum gas production and also supporting the growth of small and medium enterprises in the host communities. This project will create hundreds of direct and indirect employment opportunities for our teeming youth, both skilled and unskilled. The Integrated Gas Handling Facility project will also support the ongoing drive towards providing alternative auto fuel under the Natural Gas Expansion Program initiative. I commend the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation for completing this project that is surely supportive of this administration's drive to bring prosperity and comfort to the Nigerian people. On the commencement of the commercial production, I formally commissioned the Oredo Integrated Gas Handling Facility, liquefied petroleum gas processing and dispensing plants, and I hereby direct the Honorable Minister of Petroleum Resources to cut the tape on my behalf. I thank all stakeholders for the valuable contributions made toward the successful completion of this project and today's commissioning exercise. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you.
Shall we have the national anthem, please?
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Mr. President. Thank you so very much, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On the President's directive, we're going to follow it in this particular order that I will be announcing. The Honorable Minister, of course, in the company of the GMD and some of our dignitaries in the first two rows, will step forward to this particular plaque here and do a ceremonial commissioning of this facility because of distance and space. After that, they will proceed to this building to my left, where they would be given minimal PPE to proceed to a 10 to 15 minutes tour of the facility. Now, because of space and because it's a live plant, we would not take a lot of people there. If you are amongst those I have just called who will be going to that tour, please switch off your mobile phones or leave it with the people who have come with you. So, Your Excellency, the Urban Minister of State, sir, if you can come this way. Now, after we are done commissioning and the facility tour of about 10 minutes, the Urban Minister of State and the dignitaries as well will proceed to the second location. You heard the GMD talk to us about that. That is where we'll be commissioning the LPG plant. So they will get in the bus that will be waiting for them. Before we leave here, I would come back to you in a few minutes to tell you if we'll have space to accommodate everyone there, if you're able to find your way to the next facility, which I'm told is about 10 minutes away. Urban Minister, sir, can you come this way, please? Can you come this way? So please keep your eyes on the screen. Remain seated. Remain seated. If you're not amongst the first, second, and rows, remain seated and keep your eyes on the screen. And just monitor what is happening. Okay. So.
On behalf of President Muhammadu Buhari, I commission this NPDC integrated gas handling facility for the prosperity of the Edo people, the prosperity of Nigeria, and to the glory of God.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Where are the safety wardens?
Yeah, on the white building, sir. In the white building over there, sir. Safety wardings, you are needed. Safety wardings, you are needed. At the building there, you are needed. So everyone else, please remain seated. Safety wardings, you are needed. we welcome you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this particular, of course, is also in the company of Your Royal Highnesses from the Oba's Palace representing the Oba of Benin. We also have the inaugurate of Olobo Dukedom. We welcome Prince Akenzwa and the representatives of His Royal Majesty the Oba of Benin are also joining us today. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this LPG storage and dispensing terminal is quite a unique one for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is that it requires no jetties or no special waterways, if you like, to deliver its products to the local market, as it is strategically located, as you can see here in the Benin-Sapele roads. Easy access to Warri Sapele, easy access into Benin and environs, and indeed easy access across the entire country from this jet. We welcome you. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this particular, of course, is also in the company of the Royal Highnesses from the Oba's Palace representing the Oba of Benin. We also have the inaugurate of Olobo Dukedom. We welcome Prince Akenzwa and the representatives of His Royal Majesty the Oba of Benin are also joining us today. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this LPG storage and dispensing terminal is quite a unique one for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons is that it requires no jetties or no special waterways, if you like, to deliver its products to the local market, as it is strategically located, as you can see here in the Benin-Sapele roads. Easy access to Warri Sapele, easy access into Benin and environs, and indeed easy access across the entire country from this jetty. We've been told that $200 million is what will be generated by both of these facilities. And then, of course, the equivalent of about 1.2 million water gallons of LPG and 800,000 water gallons of propane is what this facility is built to hold. So, Your Excellencies, Royal Majesties, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the major ceremony has been done. This is, of course, to appreciate the host community who have been in this part waiting for this segment of the event, and to also appreciate the top management of the NNPC who were designated to come to this part. Group general managers of the NNPC were also designated to sit here. They have been representing the cooperation with the host communities. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have the host community whom the Honorable Minister, the GMD, the President have very well appreciated in the course of their speeches. As I allow my bosses to just settle down briefly, we will then proceed to the commissioning of the LPG storage and dispensing plant. I'm also aware that those of you who have been seated here have very well been entertained by the music and the food, by the music and with the food. So we're thankful to the NPDC
for providing such service. Your Excellencies, thank you. Cultural troop, thank you. Thank you, guys. The inaugurates entertainment bands. I will choose to call you that. Can you please settle down and take your seats now? Thank you. Thank you. Your Highness, you need to invite me to your jigdom so I can come and enjoy someone's entertainment with you. I can come here anytime. Thank you, Your Highness. Thank you. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a very short event. And real quick, I'd like to begin by welcoming again, just to salute our wonderful host community. I'd like to first of all welcome our Group Managing Director, Mr. Mele Kiari. Let's please welcome our GMD of the NMPC as he addresses this august audience. Can we put the hands together, please? Make it better. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's good to add this.
Yeah.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Edo State and my brother, Your Excellency, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, and my brother also, the Honorable Wolobo, Your Royal Highness, Representative of the Omonoba, you are very welcome to this occasion. Members of Board of Directors of the NPDC present here, members of the National Assembly present here, the presence of Pengasan and Nupeng, the group chairman of Pengasan and Nupeng in the NNPC, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the Olobo community, and of course Edo State at large. Let me start by saying that I'm son of the soil. I started my early life in Benin. I started work at Oko Village, and I worked there for 9 years. And I broke all my tooth
in Edo State. So, as my brother, the executive governor, always says it, I'm a Benin man, in all respect. So, I'm not a stranger to this place. And I know for sure, this is Edo and Benin are one of the most peaceful people that you can ever find in this country. And it is that peace that brought this project. Otherwise, you can pipe gas to anywhere, which is typically the practice in the upstream, but I can take you to where you have safety. And the easiest way of doing it is to take it to the seafront and export it. But we know that doesn't create value for anyone, especially for the host community, and of course the Edo State in general. So we decided that value will be returned in this place. It was a very, very conscious decision because we know that we can have peace here. We know that we have a government in this state that will support the sustenance of peace and tranquility in this place. We knew also that when this project is completed, the people of Olobo will benefit. Other nearby communities will benefit. And of course, the rest of Nigerians will benefit from it. As you can see today, we have people here from all parts of this country, all shapes of persuasions, all convictions. But we are all here because we are seeing prosperity in this place. And prosperity can't come if you don't have peace. And this is the peace that we have found in this place. So my key statement here, Your Excellency, is that we are very happy working here. We have a very receptive host community in this place, very involved in everything we are doing in this place. But of course, Mr. Excellency, more needs to be done. More means more peace in this place, a cleaner environment for our operations, so that customers can come here to take LPG. If they don't come, there will be no business, and the opportunities that we have created in this place will vanish. So, Excellency, I know that this is not a challenge here. I know you will help us. I know that the Oredo will support us. I also know that the Oredo will support us. And collectively, this facility will deliver value to all of us. We as your own company, remember that NPDC is a company owned by all of us here. It is our own company. And of course, NPDC is owned 100% by NPDC. So you also own NPDC and NPDC. Because it's your company, it's our responsibility to make sure that it works peacefully in this environment so that it can deliver value to all of us. The first beneficiaries, obviously, are the people living around here. And the rest of Nigerians will surely benefit because Mr. President's objective is to deepen gas utilization in this country so that it can create the value that it should do, so that it can create prosperity. But as you can obviously see, the prosperity will be first created here. And it is obvious to all of us here today that value is being created in this place. Therefore, please join me to thank Mr. President. Join me also to thank Honorable Mr. Petroleum, who has given us all the necessary support and steer to make sure that we deliver on this project. But more importantly and lastly, that this community is the beneficiary of this project. Is the ultimate and the initial beneficiary of this project. And we join you in celebrating this success. This success is the benefit of this community and all of us. So thank you very much, Your Excellency. We appreciate the very, very warm reception that we have in this place. We are not surprised also because this is the culture of Benin. And I can attest to it in case some of my entourage don't know that we Beninese are very peaceful people. Thank you very much. Oh, but okay. I didn't know that my GMD is a Benima. Now I know. Now I know. Thank you very much, my GMD. We can give him another round of applause. Give him another round of applause. Thank you very much. You know, when you channel gas into energy, it is never tired of generating energy, whether for power or whether for cooking. And like gas, this next speaker is never tired of ensuring that gas gets the right infrastructure to empower Nigeria. Let's now welcome the man whom I have chosen to call the Minister of Gas, the Honorable Minister of State Petroleum Resources, His Excellency Chief Jimmy Page Silva. As he, who can make the applause better, ladies and gentlemen. Please let's appreciate the man who, working with the President, declared 2020 the year of gas and has kept true to that agenda and mandate. Sound.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, the GMD of NPDC, please let me stand on the protocols already established because we don't have too much time. This year started on a very good note for gas, for us. Train 7 FID was taken towards the end of last year, so we ushered in 2020 as the year of gas. And since the beginning of this year, we have done everything to improve gas penetration. A few weeks ago, Mr. President rolled out the auto gas program. And what is an auto gas program without adequate supply? That is what Oredo, the Oredo facility is here to guarantee. We cannot be talking about gas penetration in Nigeria without guaranteeing the supply of gas. The Oredo gas plant actually guarantees gas supply to fuel this direction in gas in Nigeria today. 2020 has been a very eventful year for us. Although it's been one of the most difficult years, but we've been able to make a lot of progress in 2020. That's why I believe that if you think you have seen anything in 2020, you should wait for 2021, which we believe will be a better year. 2021 actually will begin the decade of gas for Nigeria. And there will be a lot of activity in this in the gas sector. We've started here in Oredo, the cradle of civilization around this area. Just like the GMD said, I myself can claim to be a Benin citizen in a way, at least part of the Commonwealth, because civilization around here started from here, and my people historically are said to have migrated from here. So this is a fitting place for us to begin this gas revolution. It will start in Benin, and it will spread to all other parts of Nigeria. And I believe from here, the world will hear Nigeria as a destination for gas. As they say, we are a gas territory with some oil in it. And we'll begin to prove it from here and from 2021. I thank you very much for this opportunity.
So with the Honorable Minister, we would say from Oredo to Bayelsa, Bayelsa to the world. Thank you very much. Can we please give him another round of applause? Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, since assumption of office, he has been focused on pursuing the holistic development of the great state of Edo. Some of the recent signs that points us in that direction is the fact that he is leveraging the rich cultural heritage of the Benin Kingdom and the Edo people and translating that into a West African kind of museum which will attract people from all across the world to Edo State. When it comes to investment, he's also championing the cause of attracting foreign and even in-country investment to the beautiful state of Edo. And little wonder when an opportunity like this presented itself, you can bet this next speaker will not miss a chance to celebrate a state he loves and so passionately currently serving. Now welcome with me, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, Governor of Edo State, as he addresses this august occasion.
Your Excellency and my brother, the Honorable Minister of State, His Excellency Timothy Sylvia, my brother, and he has said so in very clear terms, the GMD of NNPC, Engineer Mele Carey, members of the Board of Directors of the NNPC, members of the National Assembly who are here, the representatives of His Royal Majesty, Omonobane Doku Apolokolo, Oba Ewa II, Oba of Benin, Oba Atokpei, and the Duke of Ologo Kingdom, Prince Akenzwa. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today we are making history again. We are, as the minister said, commencing the gas revolution in Edo. The domestic gas revolution is starting here in Ologo. Yes, over the decades, we've explored for gas in Nigeria, but the tendency and practice has been to pipe all that gas towards the waterfronts and export the gas abroad. That has changed in 2020. With NNPC now exploring for gas in Nigeria's largest onshore gas belt. The rest of the gas is in the swamp and deep offshore. But we are proud that the Oredo fields, the fields in Edo State, account for some of the largest onshore gas reserves in this country. And NNPC has thought it wise and proper to use that gas for our domestic economy. We really applaud Mr. President and the Minister for this, and the GMD of NNPC for this foresight. For us in Edo, we are blessed, as you've all said. Apart from the agricultural resources we have, we also have the benefit of energy in form of oil and particularly gas to drive our economy. And we're taking full advantage of this natural endowment. And in doing so, we will continue to collaborate with both local and international investors to make sure that we take full benefits of this natural asset. We have designated Ologo as a special economic development zone. Historically, Ologo has always been an area for production. When we had a lot of timber, about 50 years ago, one of the largest processing plants was established in Olugbo. Unfortunately, all those trees are gone. So you're standing somewhere in the rainforest today, it looks like you're in the savannah. Because of the amount of this deforestation that has occurred here, we, the Edo State government, the Edo people, and I'm sure the people of Olugbo, have decided to embrace Nigeria's gas policy. If that will stop further deforestation of what is left of our forests. I also want to use this opportunity to appreciate and thank the management of NPDC for the work you've been doing in the Oredo fields. We have established a 55 megawatts power plant, a couple of kilometers from this location. And Honorable Minister, on your way to Benin, you'll see about 132 poles, 132 transmission lines moving power already from this location to Benin City. We want to thank you for the support of NPDC in connecting us to the gas line, and to just plead that you should please review the GSA, the gas sales agreement, which we signed several years ago, such that the price of gas you are offering us reflects the reality of the market today. On our part, we are integrating our people in our development. So the issue of peace should be taken for granted. We will work with you, we'll work with the federal government and all the security agencies to continue to ensure that there's peace in the land, because we know it, that without peace you cannot have development. And without peace you cannot attract investors. So we will continue to work with you to ensure that there is peace. But you cannot have peace if there's no justice. You cannot have peace if you do not integrate the people in your development efforts. That is what we are doing in Edo State. So be rest assured that we will work with you to make Olugbo and Edo a gas hub, so that other investors can come and join you and take advantage of the investments you already have made. I want to thank my people in Olugbo. I have no words strong enough to say thank you. Wawesi. GMD, I won my elections landslide in Olugbo. So these are my people. So these are my people. I can assure you they are very, very peaceful people. They will protect these assets, and you will be proud of what you have done here. And hopefully, as you consider further investments, you will ensure that Olugbo is put in the top of your priorities. Once again, I want to congratulate the GMD, the Honorable Minister, the members of the board of NNPC for this project, and pray that God Almighty will make 2021 a better year for all of us. Compliments of the season to all of you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister, the Honorable Minister of State, please, the Honorable Minister of State, the GMD, please can you rise up now and proceed to the cutting of the tape to commission the LPG processing now. Please, GMD, sir. Your Excellency, Mr. Governor, sir. Please, this way, sir. Please, this way. Please, this way. Keep going this way. Go and come in. Please, can you leave a way? Dancers, allow them to go, please. Dancers, please. Dancers, please allow them to go. Please allow them to go. We have just 2 minutes to do this commissioning, please. Just 2 minutes. Very kindly move that way, please. Please, we have just 2 minutes. Allow them to go. The governor, the minister, the GMD, the MD of NPDC. Please allow them to go. Allow them to go. Thank you. Thank you. Please, nobody should be standing in their way. They have a very short time to do this.
Don't worry, okay, don't worry.
Sound. Okay. Okay. So we're ready. We're set to do the commissioning by His Excellency the President, represented by the Honorable Minister of State, Petroleum Resources.
How can we get this stuff? How can we get this stuff?
Stop them. Please, the dancers and all other guests, don't proceed with the minister and his Royal Highnesses. Please stop where you are. Please stop. As the minister continues, please stop where you are.
GMD.